Odds were in my favor. I had 'em 5-1. And that nag to win came around the track. Sure enough, we had won.
On the 4th of July, I thought I was headed to Canterbury, riding the favorite, and a $75,000 stake over there for Louis Russell, Starship Duchess. That didn't happen. Too much heat there. They decided to cancel the races, so I ended up just hanging out here. I had found out the race was going to come back on Saturday. I was faced with the decision all over again. Actually, the second time was a harder decision than the first because I had some good horses. At the time, I knew that I was losing out on some, but I didn't know I was losing out on as much as I did. You just got to make sure it's worth it because you really don't want to lose out on your mounts here. I was going up there with thinking that I'm going to be the heavy favorite and she's going to win. Things didn't turn out quite the way that I expected them to, and you know, but that happens. It's part of racing. That's why they run the races, because favorite don't always win. She left the gate, she bobbled a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. She got back on her feet like pretty much right away. After that, I kind of let her want to run away from there, try to get myself in a good spot. Tanner was up there, he made the lead, so I was watching him. He made the lead pretty easy. His horse looked like it was going plenty fast enough, so I just kind of set off of him. You know, I just kept asking her, and when Tanner spurted away from me, I knew that he was probably gone. I knew that I wasn't going to get there.
Way to go, Rick.
But the best thing was, got to go see my best buddy, Tanner. Say hello.
Hello.
Say hello to everybody in Chicago,
Hey,
man.
what's up, all you guys in Chicago?
That made the trip worth it, I guess, alone right there. We hung out all the time. He was my running buddy. We did about everything together, you know?
I don't want to be on it.
I'm glad he's doing good up there. He's killing him. He's leading rider by many now, so he ended up beating me in the stakes. So. Tell us how your trip was, Tanner.
Both sharp, and got to the lead, and I don't know what Ashley was. She was going.
If anybody else is gonna win, I want it to be Tanner. So at least he's the one that beat me. And then I made him buy my dinner. Well, we're going to Chili's now. Riggs buying.
Well, I'm here at the airport. I'm just waiting around. My flight was supposed to leave at 8:45. I ride the first race, so I'm going to be pushing it quite a bit, but I think I'll be able to make it there on time.
I got to hang out with a bunch of hardcore handicappers. I got to talk to them, and they were very easy to talk to, very educated. They knew what they were talking about. I mean, they could read any form, read any program, any track around the country, and they know what they're betting on. I think I've ridden this horse actually a long time ago.
Really? You know, as horse players, we'll hear things, see things, and go, what in the world is the guy doing out there? Right. And you go, they can't be that wrong.
They were, you know, asking me some, very, interesting questions about what goes on in a race.
One thing we see, sometimes horses, instead of staying along the rail, along the turn, they go swinging 87 wide.
I can't stand that. You know, sometimes you get instructions. You got to make the trainer happy. You got to make the owners happy. That's what we're trying to do. There's been plenty of times I've come back and felt like, man, my instructions, I think I could have rode the horse different and had a better outcome. Right. But, you got to do what they say. Mike's the greatest. He's the easiest guy to ride for. I asked him, Mr. Mike, what you want me to do with this horse? I ain't never rode him before. I said, all right, boss. The guys, they were curious about the pace. How do you know how fast? How do you know how fast you're going or how slow you're going, whether you're on the lead or you're coming from off the pace? How do you know when to time it right? How do you know when to make your move? I guess learned to get a clock in my head is my dad, he used to come to track with me every day. So when I first started, every morning I'd work horses. So we'd be walking back, my dad would say, how fast do you go? I'd guess at the time, I just started. I didn't know, but I was trying to judge it after I got on a few horses, trying to learn. And so my dad would find out before he came over there, and he'd find out from the clockers how fast I really went. And sometimes you can also judge by the riders in front of you. You look up and you see every rider in the race is just cranked down, have huge holds to their horse, and just being drug around there. Well, obviously, they're not 22 in it. They're going to be going pretty slow. It was nice to talk to them, and it was I enjoyed every minute of it because I was able to talk to them very easily because of everything that they do know about racing. Abby Slew, she had some seconds coming from off the pace. Every other time, horses ran away from her early, and she come close and got a couple seconds, just not enough to catch the winner that had got away because she just kept coming. So the other day, it was one of those races where it looks like there's no speed in there. We left the gate. I just let her break the way she always does. You know, I knew there wasn't a ton of speed in there, so I just let her break. Tried to ride her like I always do. You know, that horse was dropping over pretty quick. He made the lead pretty easy. So I seen the forward. He was having a little bit of trouble. I could tell that he wanted out of there. So I just kind of eased back a little bit and let him go on and tucked inside of him. So I just kind of dropped down to the fence and just let my filly relax. You know, the horse was pretty rank on the lead. He kind of started stopping real bad. I mean, like, he went from running off to stopping in a hurry. I didn't want to make the lead too soon. I didn't want my filly to start waiting on horses too much. You know, so I just kind of sat real still on her and just kind of waited until we completely straightened away from home before I asked her to kick on. When she got clear, she kicked on for me, and you know, nobody was coming. I thought that, you know, I was home free, that nobody was gonna even come and test me, you know. But I felt the horse coming running up on the outside. Kind of got a little bit worried. I thought the horse was gonna get me, but when that horse come on the outside, she just kept digging in and kept her nose in front. She ran her same race, except the race didn't set up the same way. Rock on Richie. You know, I talked to Mr. Larry Ravelli in the paddock. He told me, you know, take this horse back. He's got to come from last. Drag him back. He won't finish if you let him lay close. I was starting to look for a spot to go. You know, everybody was all jammed up, bottled up, and, you know, horses checking in bad spots. So, you know, I knew that if I stayed back there with such a slow pace that I wasn't going to get anywhere. I seen this horses kind of split a little bit. I took my chances, and I went ahead and I asked him to run and hurried up, and I got in there. I kind of surprised them, really. They didn't even know I was there until it was too late.
Rolling up there.
I seen these horses, they were just, you know, kind of waiting around, so I didn't think that I needed to wait for much with the pace that slow. So, I mean, I just kind of was picking through my spots, trying to find somewhere to go, and I was able to get through a couple tight holes and without any problems. Not all horses that you ride are okay with going in tight spots. Luckily, he was. I felt pretty comfortable with that. I had those two horses in front of me at this point, but, you know, I was afraid of the winner. He was on the lead, going real slow, and just got away, and I wasn't able to run him down. Today, Luke came in. He's 8 years old. He's going through some health troubles right now. So it was nice. It was nice to come in and bring him. You know, we brought him into the jock's room. I brought him in there and gave him, you know, showed him around the room, showed him all the silks. Let him try some silks on. You know, I went and showed him, you know, what I do every day. My day, we let them get on the scale, and, you know, they got on there and weighed themselves. And I went and I took them, I showed them, you know, my helmets. You know, I got some old goggles. I signed some goggles. I gave them some goggles. I had a couple whips that I don't use anymore, so I was able to give them to them, and, you know, they put the goggles on, and they had the whip, and they were swinging the whip like they were riding, and, you know, it was great to watch his face light up, to put a smile on his face. You know, it's just so awesome. You know, I love doing that. He was thrilled to be able to walk around the jock's room and see all the different things, and, you know, see something he's never seen before. You know, it was nice. I think he enjoyed it very much, and, you know, it brings joy to me, to my heart, to be able to put a smile on his face.